The Southern Football League web show. My name's Rowan Schreier. We're proudly brought to you each week by the leading newspapers. This week we're going to be speaking with the coaches of this week's broadcast match of the round, which you can hear on 88.3 Southern FM, and that match will be between Springvale Districts and St Paul's East Bentley at Springvale's home ground, Newcomen Road. Now, Paul, we spoke to you last week. Thanks again for coming down. We'll be right back with you in just a moment. Soon, welcome to your debut for the web show.
Thanks, Ryan. Cheers.
We appreciate you guys giving us your time to come and spend on the show. Now, the previous time you guys met was in round 2 of this season, where St Paul's had a pretty comfortable win, you would say, a 61-point win, but they got out of the blocks early. That's something you'll be certainly looking to address this time.
Yeah, it was as Paul will probably remember, it was a pretty windy day, and they just got on top early. Just had things go their way a little bit, and probably defensively we sort of tended to rush a little bit, where maybe we should have just hung onto the footy a little bit more and run the footy into the wind. But I think the main thing is you learn from those sort of games, and St Paul's are obviously benchmark at the competition, and I thought we sort of took it up to them for the last 3 quarters of that game, and probably took a little bit out of it. So hopefully we're a little bit more competitive this time.
You've taken one of my questions away. Obviously you have got quite a bit out of that. You've obviously had some players come back into the fold over the course of the season, and one of the experienced campaigners you must be happy to have back is Wada Wells. Yeah,
Wellsy probably had his best pre-season, I think, in his own words, since he sort of started playing senior footy, and then 2 weeks out from the season rolled his ankle and ended up missing I think the first 8 weeks, came back for St Kilda City and did his calf in the first 2 minutes of the game. So look, it's great to have Wellesley back. He's obviously the assistant coach at the club as well, and just some leadership and a bigger body out on the ground. We're not overly tall as a side, so just a stronger body, a bit of experience definitely helps us.
What's the one thing that you've improved on since your last meeting with St Paul's, without giving too much away, obviously?
I think it's probably more just to focus on what we do when we have the footy ourselves. We tended earlier on in the season to really turn the footy over, and I think maybe structurally that a few blokes were going different ways to others, and probably a little bit unpredictable to each other. So we've just sort of worked on a couple of things over the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks, and being a little bit more predictable to each other has definitely helped us. So that's probably the major thing. But obviously, personnel-wise, we've had a few players come back in the last month that a little bit of extra experience definitely helps us. So hopefully we're on the move up the ladder rather than down.
Well, you only sit a game out of the final 5 at the moment, and it's very, very close with that last spot in the 5 up for grabs at the moment. Do you see yourselves playing finals in 2009?
We'd obviously love to, but we're a fair way off that at the moment. I think it's more about just consistency. I think over the course of the first few weeks we'd play a quarter or a half and then get blown away. The Dingley game itself, we were really ordinary in the first half and then outscored them in the second. The Chelsea Heights game, we were down by a goal at half time and then got blown away. So what we're trying to focus on is sort of playing 2 hours of footy rather than half an hour or an hour. Because when you're playing the higher sides, and those quiet periods, you tend to get blown away. So it's probably more about just making sure that we play 4 quarters of good footy, and if we do that, we're going to be competitive and possibly win a couple of games that maybe we didn't in the first half. So that's probably the focus at the moment.
Well, you're looking forward to the second half of your season, Paul. Your season to date's been fantastic, and you followed up with a fantastic win last Saturday against finals aspirant in Cheltenham.
Yeah, we're always aware that Cheltenham are pretty good competitors. When they faced St Paul's, we had a big club function on for the day, and we knew that Cheltenham would come out of the blocks and try and stir things up for us. But we had a reasonably slow start. Cheltenham were in front by 3 points or 3 or 4 points up till half time, and we weren't really playing the way that we had been playing over the last 4 or 5 weeks. So we had a bit of a talk about it at half time, and really got into gear in the 3rd quarter and took over the game. So it was a really good day for the club. We had 3 wins with the Colts, the reserves and the seniors. So we're pretty happy where we're sitting after last week.
Good day at the office, and another good day for Trevor Ridgway. Another 9 for him. That's 40 in 4 weeks. I think for young Trav?
Yeah, he's going well. He's one of those guys that he slips under the radar a little bit. I mean, you'd think that he would kick maybe 4 or 5, and he just slinks a couple during the game. But he's going well at the moment, Travis. As I said last week, he's sticking every ball that's coming down, sticking in his hands, and he's kicking straight. So everything's falling into place. And as far as the forward line's operating at the moment, they're all working in unison together. So Travis got all his other teammates to thank for that, which I've reminded him of. So he's going well, and as I say, Richard Cook, he's playing brilliantly at the moment, and Rowan Best and Jesse Attenborough and the like, they're going quite well at the moment. So
and some guys to come back into the lineup in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we've got a couple of blokes to come back. We haven't quite been at full strength. We've been, I wouldn't say decimated with injuries. When you've got injuries and you've got the quality of some of the Colts that have come in, it hasn't really hurt us too much. But we have got numbers to come back in, so selecting the side over the next few weeks is going to be quite a job.
And even the twos are going well, knocking off Cheltenham, previously undefeated Cheltenham in the reserves last week, so strength right through the whole club at the moment.
Yeah, I wasn't really surprised. I think the reserves, obviously Cheltenham are pretty strong, and they have been for years in the reserves, but the way that the club's going at the moment, as I say, we're pushing a few back. Unfortunately, we couldn't squeeze a couple of those Colts players in last week, so we're just getting stronger as the weeks go on. But you never know. You just got to make sure you keep your guard up with the likes of Springvale this week. We're very aware that they're on the improve, so as I say, we've got to keep our guard up and make sure that we're dotting all the I's and crossing the T's, and hopefully it'll all fall into place.
Fantastic. Well, it's going to be a fantastic clash this week. One thing we are going to introduce into the Southern Football League web show is the round's top 5. And the top 5 for round 10 sees at number 5, Heatherton versus Hyatt, two very, very neighbouring rivals. Being able to agree to a neutral venue at a finals ground last Friday night. Fantastic crowd, fantastic footy. Springvale won, Heatherton won, and Hyatt took some money off the gate. So everyone was a winner. Let's see more of it. Friday night footy in the Southern Footy League. At number 4, young Matt Wilcox from Dingley Colts, bagging 10 goals against Mordialloc on the weekend. Great effort, Matt. At number 3, Mordialloc Footy Club, turning around a 133-point loss in the first round to be able to overcome Dingley and reclaim a spot in the final 5. Fantastic work down there, Bloods. Lukey Kirkland comes in at number 2 with 14 goals for Black Rock. It's been a bit of an up and down year for Luke coming across from Mordialloc, but he fired on the weekend with 14. Well done, Lukey. And at number 1, just for his name alone, Davey Crockett, the man with the squirrel hat, bagged 6 goals for Hampton in his side's win over Cerberus at the weekend. So that's our final 5 for round 10. Just some final shots. I'm going to ask the coaches here a couple of footy-related questions, just some short answers to finish up the show. Now, how many wins will it take to make the final 5 in Division 1 this year, Paul?
9.
9?
Yeah, 9's probably the right.
9? Do you think
8 might scrape in.
8 might scrape in. And Division 2, who do you think will win the Division 2 flag?
Heatherton.
Heatherton?
Yeah, I'll go with the Tunners there as well.
Heatherton?
Yeah.
South Yarra for mine. David Canizzo, brownie points there. And who will win the AFL minor premiership?
Minor premiership, St Kilda.
Oh, I'll go to Cats there.
Cats. Well, there we got it. Differing opinions here. Obviously going to be differing opinions in the coaches box on Saturday afternoon down there at Newman Road. We'll see you there. This show's been brought to you, as always, by Leader Community Newspapers, localfooty.com.au. Check them out. I'm Rowan Schreier. This has been another Southern Football League web show.